Alliance's military camps in the south were obviously not amongst those rare few. They disappeared from the surface faster than a brain amidst a horde of zombies. There are enemies in your dungeon.
I'm gonna just wait for them to activate this trap, and then we'll place, kill, and then we'll run up and attack their base. Oh wait,
Stanley
shit.
was wondering whether he should return to his desk. Sorry, I'm in the wrong script.
Wait, is that the Stanley Parable fucking narrator? I didn't realize. Shit, if it is, that's cool.
In the east of the posh lands lay a small Alliance camp that looked after the area's agriculture. This wouldn't be of much help against a bunch of crazed orcs.
Alright, so don't have the revive yet.
The Alliance's outpost in the east was unable to resist the horde. Another part of the posh lands fell to make room for some beautiful tombs, from which Undead would soon rise.
Make me my things!
Only 20 years lay between the deadly plague lands and the unpleasantly swanky posh lands. It was incredible what a little paint could do.
Excellent. Complete. Boop. Boop. Now they can kill as much of my men as they want. I shall nary shed a tear.
Payday.
Alright, let's go take out those other two bases. Oh, sorry. There you go.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
I thought we had more.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. Once, the Plaguelands were a cozy place for the undead. However, after the ultimate evil's fall, the place was taken over by a group known as the Crimson Crusade. They transformed
You know,
it
the
into
Argent Crusade?
Poshlands. They even made a film about it, a very sad story called Unlife is Beautiful.
I'm loving these Warcraft 3 references. I'm assuming that's what these are, because, you know, Crimson Crusade, Argent Crusade. You're not gonna get into our base that easily. We're just gonna camp here while we wait for this. Bitch.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Oh well. We came from up here, so.
Back when the Plaguelands still existed, harmony and unity pervaded the land. There were no conflicts, because the undead do not wage war against each other. There were no needed, because undead do not have any needs. All in all, an idyllic utopia. If you're dead.
Speed it up.
Payday. The capital of the Poshlands lay in the northwest of the country. Hipsterbridge. Yes, granted. A
Terrible name.
But what can you do? Despite its ridiculous name, Hipsterbridge was heavily guarded and would resist attack by all means possible. The Horde would have to work hard here to bring the city back into the Plaguelands.
Luckily, that place can wait. We're literally just gonna guard here until Entrench is done. Speaking of which, Mr. Troll, where are you? I need some. There you are. You're not Mr. Troll. You should be working.
By the way, did you know that in the first dungeons, a certain Calypso, not to be confused with the great publisher Calypso, joined in the game? You didn't? Well, I wanted to astound you with this momentous bit of trivia. You really should get back to playing the game again.
Almost done. Come on. Finish it. Awesome. All right. Cool, cool. Let's go fuck this town up down here.
In the middle of the Poshlands, directly at a crossroads, there lay the small but well-fortified village of Bunnyfield. The Alliance would send small attack groups towards the dungeon from here as well.
Oh, you're not close enough? Man, that's gotta be close enough. So it's not.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Well, there we go. Fine, plan. It wouldn't let him attack the tower, so plan didn't go how we wanted. That's fine.
There are enemies in your dungeon. Oh yes, back to the Plaguelands. Here, the undead sometimes like to have grand dances, real thrillers, so to speak. But those days were gone once the Poshlands came into existence.
Haha! Nerds! This land is ours! What's over here? There's like a thing on the map. I wonder what it is. Ah, excellent.
It's payday.
Whoa. Get fucked.
Not all of the Plaguelands had been conquered by the Alliance. One area was so especially steeped in evil that it could not be cultivated at all. It was quickly covered with a magical spell and surrounded by a massive wall. An entrance would probably only be found once the rest of the Poshlands had been destroyed.
That's such a good defense. Only one that doesn't kill is the fucking gnome. The bard.
By the way, the Dungeons 2 developers were not broken into and no one stole the source code. The game was also not split into two. The developers have not even randomly offended people on social media or slept with any journalists. All in all, the game development was very uneventful. That's such a yawningly boring story. How did it ever make it into the dialogue?
Fair enough. I mean, that's true.
There was a tavern in the woods called the Black Boar, one of those classic hero meeting places. A bard stood in front of this establishment advertising the ultimate evils dungeon in his refrains, which regularly resulted in heroes flooding into the underground. A habit he would soon be losing. The Black Boar Tavern came to an inglorious end after the Horde visited the establishment. They not only refused to pay the tab, but burned the whole tap room down to boot. Well, quite understandable, really. There was no orc beer on tap.
Fair. That's some racist BS. Trust me, I got a plan. It's gonna be funny. Balls.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
See what I'm gonna do? And down goes the church. dwarf, just join us. I don't want you to die. Dwarves are cool. He has choice. He just made the wrong one.
Payday.
There's still more somewhere, eh? Not for long. No, just making sure that wasn't just the thing I had to kill.
Mission accomplished. The Poshlands were history, so 3 cheers for the Plaguelands. It wouldn't be long before the undead would rise again. Skeletons, zombies, white wanderers, well, maybe not the latter. And rise they did. To be honest, they were actually less than the astounded evil expected, but still. It used its mental abilities to reach out to them in order to seize them and to bring them under its control. But the evil did not succeed. Another power had already taken possession of them. A massive shape rose from a crypt in the east. It started to speak in the ultimate evil's direction.
You hold no power here. I will only obey the King of Gondor. I mean, the ultimate evil. It is time for you to die, oh living ones.
This was a tad unexpected for the ultimate evil. It would seem there was an imposter out there trying to usurp its title. It would have to worry about that later, though. This threat had to be dealt with first, as the undead were obviously baying for a fight with the Horde. It could safely be assumed that whoever was controlling the undead was doing so from somewhere up in the wild region of the Plaguelands. The ultimate evil would need to send its troops there in order to eliminate this threat.
Let's head back there so we can heal up and get everyone ready for battle. This is a fun mission. Also, I think that's the first time I've ever had my gold capped. Alright. I don't like how my minions aren't doing anything, so let's just have them do this. Let's find a place. Here works. I don't like they're not doing anything, so do this.
Payday.
Literally just giving them commands, they're doing something. There. This should preoccupy your time for a bit. Aha. Oh no. Dang. Thought there was a point where it'd connect. Yes! There. You have your orders, now do them. No being lazy.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Do I have all the, I mean, even if I don't have all the guys, this is definitely enough. Let's look at how the digging's going. Awesome. I expect more results. That's fun. Alright, so.
Oops! That must have been what the little snob thought when it unearthed an ancient tomb filled with angry skeletons and zombies in the underground. These showed little interest in obeying the unspeakable evil's orders, but moved with a half-hearted growl of brains towards its creatures. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Our assault continues.
Once again, the strange figure appeared, just like it had done several times before. The creatures of the unspeakable evil paused, confused, uncertain what to do.
You fool! I warned you not to start a civil war! For that, you will pay!
With these words, the mysterious figure disappeared once again. Probably hadn't had enough breakfast. Never mind. There's a skeleton king in the crypt just waiting to be pounded into a pulp by the horde. You shouldn't leave him waiting.
That just fucking kills everyone. I love it. Alright, let's go kill this skeleton king. Come on, we're not fighting in there. Let's hole up here for a minute. Have they finished digging all the shit I told them to dig? Holy shit, they did. Nice. But we're not done. There we go. You're not done till I fucking say you're done.
There are enemies in your dungeon. As well as countless undead, these underground catacombs were also home to some giant rats. it might be possible for the almighty evil to make use of the fact that these rats were only too happy to gnaw a few bones and set these two factions on each other.
Any deaths? Return straight to our base to defend it. No losses, because I have 4 respawners in our base. This must be where the Skeleton King is.
This is where the dead do.
Hi, Leoric.
There is no place for living here. Meet my sword. Frostguard is hungry.
Hi, Leoric. How are you?
It was obvious that negotiations were not an option here. Therefore, the powerful evil chose one of its most well-proven tactics to solve the problem. Hit it till it stops moving. The Skeleton King was unable to withstand the unspeakable evil's creatures and crumbled to dust under their mighty blows like a vampire in sunlight. Just like a proper vampire does. Not one of those little Twilight wussies. But I digress. The Undead remained completely unimpressed and steadfastly refused to be controlled by the ultimate evil. Something out there was stopping them. However, without a leader, they were no longer a threat to the Horde. They just trudged about mindlessly, completely devoid of control. They were therefore useless to the ultimate evil. So the evil pushed on towards King's Ending in order to destroy the Alliance's remaining heroes there.
Yay!